Hi everybody, I'm Jodi Reinert. This is my Stamp with Jodi YouTube channel, and you have come across the Great North American Stampin' Show Season 6, Episode 2. Now last week, Episode 1, we had something happen that has never happened before. We had a tie. Both Julie and Lisa ended up with the same number of votes at the end of Sunday evening, and so we just decided they are both winners for Episode 1. So congratulations to both Lisa and Julie. So today I am so excited to share my card with you. I really like the card that I came up with. And I also want to challenge you a little bit. So I love that you're here. It is awesome that you come every week and you watch our videos, that you enjoy watching them, that you vote. I love that your creativity is inspired. I want you to take it a step further than that. So enjoy our videos, watch our videos, be inspired by our videos, but then actually take some time to make some cards and most importantly, send those cards. We are living in a time where people just really need personal encouragement. So make a card to thank someone, to wish them a happy birthday, to encourage them, to just brighten their day. So as you watch our videos and as you cast your votes, I hope that your creativity is inspired and that you take it that next step to make some cards and send some cards and really make a difference in somebody's life this week. All right, today's episode, we are focusing on page 17 in the new Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. And these are the different layouts that we have to work with. There's a little treat thing over here that's kind of basically just a tag. So I'm not going to focus on that one. I looked at these three and I landed on this one here. So a couple of things I'm going to take from this card layout that inspired what I'm going to show you today. The two things are the torn edge there and here of the cardstock, as well as the monochromatic look. So torn edges, monochromatic. That's what I gleaned from this sample here and what you'll see in the card I'm going to show you. I'm using Love and Courage. It's a new stamp set that is actually in this mini catalog, and Stampin' Up! Is donating $3 to breast cancer organizations. So for every one of these stamp sets that are sold, Stampin' Up! Is doing a donation, which is pretty awesome. So let's pull in, where to start? I think I will do, let's see. I've got my thick basic white card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5. It's scored right here at 4 1/4. So I will go ahead and use my bone folder. Even though I score it on my paper trimmer, I like to still use the bone folder just to help it get a good, nice crease without bubbling up anywhere. Okay, next thing, I'm going to take this piece. It is 4 inches by 5 1/4. It's from the Modern Christmas Specialty Designer paper. So on one side, it's got some gold foil Christmas, but this other side is just black and white, and I can use it for any occasion. So I'm going to do some sponging with Pretty in Pink ink. So monochromatic. This is the color I'm going to pull in, is just Pretty in Pink. This is one of the smaller blending brushes, and I'm just going to blend some color around the edges. The center is going to get covered up, so I'm not going to worry about getting color there, but I'll just blend some color around the edges on all 4 sides. Okay. I'm going to use this ink again pretty quick, so I'll just leave it open over there, scoop my blending brush. The next thing I want to do is just take my adhesive and go ahead and attach this piece to my card base. And I'm just going to center that right on the front. Then I'm going to pull in a piece of Pretty in Pink cardstock. It's 4 1/4 by 5.5, so basically a quarter sheet. And I'm going to do something that some of you might not be comfortable with, but I'm going to do it and it'll be okay. I'm just crumpling, like literally balling up, crumpling this piece of cardstock. It's kind of you know, get out some aggression, a little bit therapeutic. Unfold it, and I'm still going to continue to work it just back and forth. I just want to break the fibers on this cardstock. It might tear a little bit while I'm doing this, I don't know, but if it does, that's completely okay. I don't know if you can do this too much. You just keep going. When you feel that your therapy session is over, I suppose you could stop. But you can see there's a lot of texture on this plain piece of Pretty in Pink cardstock. Now, I'm going to just use my thumb to guide me and gently pull, oh, maybe a 1/4 inch or so off of each side. So I want the edge to be that torn look, just like in that sample from page 17. So that had one edge on top and one edge on bottom. I'm doing all 4 sides here just to give it a little bit of a different look. Okay, so let's set it on here. See what I think. I think I'm going to take just a touch more off of the bottom so I see a little bit more of that polka dot designer paper. And then we should be good to go. I think it's good. All right, let me scoot this off into the trash. So are you freaked out by that? Are you okay with crumpling up the cardstock and tearing the edges? Let me know what you think. Actually, sometimes you can put your adhesive right on here. Sometimes because you've broken those fibers, it gets a little stuck to the adhesive. So what I'm going to do instead is just run some adhesive down the middle here. Let's see. Put some there. And then the edges might not be all secure, but that's okay because I can push it in. I've kind of got to add a little bit of an angle too. So I want that not perfectly straight. I can go back here and add a little more if I want to secure that down. Totally up to you. Okay, so I've got my thick basic white card base, my designer paper, the Modern Christmas designer paper that I added Pretty in Pink ink. I crumpled up and tore the edges on that pink cardstock. And now I'm going to do some stamping. So I'm going to pull in images from that Love and Courage stamp set. And let's start with the little heart. I'm just going to stamp that on this piece of scrap paper that I have. I'm going to stamp the word hope. This piece is plenty big for what I'm going to do, but I'll go ahead and stamp the word hope. And then I've got this piece that is 4 inches by 1 3/8. And I'm going to line it up here down on my scrap paper. I happen to have the centimeter side up down here. So I'm setting it at 15 and 25. It's 10 centimeters long. And what I'm going to do is take my ribbon stamp. I'm going to ink that up with Pretty in Pink, and I'm going to do it right in the center at 20 centimeters. So right there in the center. And then I'm going to scoot over to 22. I'm kind of lining up that point right there in the ribbon where it crosses, lining that up at 22 and then at 24. And then I'll go back this way and do it at 18 and 16. It doesn't have to be perfect, but using those numbers just kind of helps me get some spacing that's relatively even. Okay, next thing. This piece will go right on top toward the bottom. So I will set it across like this. And then I'm going to use one of the Nested Essential dies. I love these dies. I use them all the time. And I'm going to go ahead and die cut this right here using my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, so that is extra. Set that aside. So I've got the word hope with that nice stitch line, rounded edges. This will go on just flat up here. Also add a little bit of an angle, so I'm keeping the angle that I used with the Pretty in Pink cardstock, adding that there. And then I'll use my scissors to cut out this little heart. It's a pretty easy cut. I'm leaving just a little bit of white around the edges. Okay, so with this little heart, I'm going to take one of my Stampin' Dimensionals, put that right on the back, and then pop this heart up. And we'll set it right down here in the corner. So that is what I have so far. Now, I added something on here that I think just makes all the difference in the world. Actually, I'm gonna pull in my completed sample, what I designed initially, just to show you the point of comparison. So let's see. Do you see the difference between these two? I hope it's catching in the light and that you can see it. What I did is I took my Wink of Stella, the glimmer brush, and I just went over everything that was stamped with Pretty in Pink ink. So I just went ahead and went over the words and just glide the Wink of Stella over the stamped image. Do you see it? Do you see that shimmer happening now? It adds so much to this card. We'll do the same thing on the heart and then down here on the ribbons. And something else I love about this stamp set, obviously it's great that Stampin' Up! Is donating to breast cancer organizations with the sale of this stamp set, but it's also just so versatile. So I'm doing this monochromatic card with Pretty in Pink. Obviously pink is the breast cancer color, but there's so many different colors that represent different types of cancer. And so just by changing the ink, you can make it very personalized so that when you send a card to someone to show support for what they're going through, you can make it the color that is personal to them and just make it even more special. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, so it's as easy as that. I want to put my cap on, make sure it snaps like that. But now it just really has an extra special touch to it with that Wink of Stella. Finally, the last difference you'll see is that little pink gem right there. And I use the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. And I'll just pull one off of here and add it right there on, oops, scoop it up a little, right there on the heart. So I hope that you love this card. Again, we used this as our inspiration, some torn edges, a monochromatic look. It's just a very special card that you can send to someone to show your support while they're experiencing cancer. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it earns your thumbs up vote and inspires your creativity. Be sure to click through and watch the other 3 videos. Voting ends Sunday night, so make sure you cast your vote by then. But of course, we always love to have your comments and reactions to our videos, no matter when you're watching them. Thank you so much. Have a great day.